Next up is ED2. This one is probably the easiest of the three to learn. It's also one of the ones that you can like snow in on technicalities and make it more difficult for yourself if you want to. I kind of enjoy meleeing this dungeon. It's really a personal preference thing. You can mage it extremely efficiently if you're good at magic. You can also range it. Ranging it requires, well, not requires, but it will greatly benefit you if you have a certain god bow. Some instances, or one specifically, you can use an eldritch crossbow quite successfully here. But yeah, anything works. As you'll see, I'll be meleeing this one. For my gear, I have a grimoire for this. I have, what shit, 16, whatever. My Trim Masterwork has Dragon Slayer on it. I also have a Dragon Slayer Tusk, which is kind of nice. And then the Dragon Slayer Sigil, which is kind of nice to spike the DPS of your CGS rotations. First thing you want to do is kill 4 of these guys. For the bright green ones, they're going to spawn a bunch of clones, whatever, that are slightly darker shade of green, none of which are necessary to kill. So just AoE the shit out of everything. See the barrier open up, run back, take a step outside, go back in. This way you don't have to deal with the remaining jellies. Can be kind of a pain if they keep following you. They do deal some damage and there's no real reason to keep them around. 3 of these red dragons, this guy down here, and these 2. Then as soon as you get through this barrier, it's these 4. On this bridge, honestly I don't know exactly how many of these columns you have to kill, but stand in the center of them and get your adrenaline up as high as you can, and then just use all the ultimates really. Not all the ultimates, sorry, all the AoEs. Meteor Strike, Hurricane, Quake, Flurry if you end up not dealing that much damage. Go through this barrier and then do these 2 books. You can kill any 2 mobs in here, really, but the books have the lowest HP, so it's kind of easy to just single those out. As soon as you've done that, move on to the dragon. Thing that these guys have, as you probably know if you're watching this, is that whenever they do that, you gotta stun them to prevent them from healing further. Go in here, kill these 2 dragons first. The ones nearest to the barrier. The reasoning for that is none other than just convenience, because the 3rd one is blocking the jellies over there. Makes it a little bit less cancer. This guy, nearest to the stairs. The reason for that is the same. Again, really, you want to use the other one to block the jellies. Because as this guy dies, the barrier is going to open up. You want to run down, and you want to get as close to this next barrier as possible for him to walk closer to the stair and block them. Now that didn't work, because God hates me, but you can see now he's starting to fill the function. Either way, doesn't really matter. You can just reset this room as well. There we go. Astalon, not my favorite boss, not gonna lie. Kind of annoying. There's a lot of RNG factors that makes it more annoying than it should have to be. The one thing, obviously, if you're meleeing, you want to be really wary of placing the black hole in melee distance, otherwise you're going to stand there like an idiot, not being able to do anything. If you're using magic or range, doesn't really matter. Kill this thing. You can drop 2 mines on it if you want. Kinda helps. Then if you stand on one of the shorter sides for this bit, you'll have a higher likelihood of the neutron star spawning near or inside the black hole. Like that. Then it's just a circle rotation. Do as much damage as you can. First 2 dragons have to die. I think it's any 2, but just do the first 2, because you need 2 of them to open the barrier and then run through. These spiders are really annoying, just stick to the edge. Get past them as fast as you can. Go over here and deal with these 2 strike worms. As soon as they're dead, run through. This is one of the slower bits. You need to kill all of these black dragons. There's going to be 4 of them now, 6 of them in the next segment, then another 4 at the second to last one. When you run in here, your adrenaline potion should be ready again from the boss. So if you have a scythe with you, you can do a full circle rotation with the A-pot, clear these quite quickly. You want to do the same thing, leaving the last one, that one, just so he blocks the spiders from moving close to you. There is an invisible barrier somewhere, I don't know exactly how that works. I know some monsters are blocked by it, some aren't, but leave that one alive till you dealt with the other 3. Leave the first 2, same reason. Block the spiders, they're not going to be able to walk past them. You need to kill 4 of these 6, so you might as well take the 4 that are close to the barrier and have the spiders out of your hair. Really? Oh, come on. Fuck's sake. There we go. Reload your preset. If you want to, you can use this guy to either get adrenaline. He's not always here, but when he is, either get your adrenaline or do a natural instinct. This guy, you want to be watching what you're praying, depending on if you're in melee distance or not. If you're far away from him, he only attacks with magic. And if you're in melee distance, he only attacks with melee. So mind your prayers. If you're soloing, you can just ignore the bombs. All it really is just a 4K typeless. Doesn't really matter. Now there will be another pillar, and after that one you want to have Berserk ready again. So try to get your adrenaline up. Revuln if you're doing it. And then go at him. Move out of the way from that. If you need to reload your preset, then teleport to option 4. Deal with the 4 gemstone dragons nearest to the barrier. Just be wary of the specs. It's not going to kill you, but it will ruin your dragonfire resistance and deal an unnecessary amount of damage, so unless you want to pay a lot of attention, pretty much just stay moving. These two. run past the Hydrix dragons. If you have a Slayer task and you care about the XP, you may want to stop and kill those two, because that's a lot of XP per dragon. Otherwise they're not critical to open the barrier for the next period, so it doesn't really matter. And then these final two. When you're done with these, you can kind of decide on how you're doing on supplies. If you want to run straight in, if you want to reload your preset, or if you want to leave completely and prep something like a, I don't know, dummy adrenaline build or whatever it might be. Just kind of make sure to not get hit by the Hydrix Dragon special attacks, because it will drain your adrenaline just before the final boss fight. That's not really ideal. Wow, can I just get my fucking things? There we go. Nothing special about starting this. Circ, A-Pot, Barge, Turbo and Bomb if you use them. Do as much damage as you can, as quick as you can. Pray magic. I don't know, that's kind of it. Walk when he does that. And then at 520 he summons these black hands. Whenever you see the screen shake, these guys are going to send off a black cloud towards you, which will hit you for like 4,000 somewhere. And then there will be a line of black hands towards wherever you were standing when that thing hit you or when it launched initially. So move away from those, they will deal typeless damage to you the exact same way they did. So if you need to or want to, you can rest the black cloud. It's a pretty nice heal. Most of this you're just going to be praying soul split, so there's a lot of healing to be taken anyway. But now, for example, whenever it does it, see that? It's a nice res. I don't know if you noticed in the first hand I placed 2 Dominion mines. They should be ready for the last hand. However you deal with those 2 in between is kind of up to you, depends on how fast it goes and what style you're using. Depending on kill speed, your adrenaline potion is likely to be ready just when you finish this. So you should be able to use again for this bit. Here you just want to deal an ass load of damage, really. That's it. The only thing you need to worry about here is the circle of light thing. Similar to Vindicta smoke, it will rape you if you stand in it. Don't do that. Otherwise just hit dragon. If you want to, you can go to the side of him or behind him, flank him. If you're doing a PR attempt or whatever, that might be useful. Otherwise, just keep DPSing. As soon as he reaches 260k, he's going to start flying. There we go. This thing is optional. I bring my Godbow just because I want something that doesn't use ammunition and still reaches the dragon from far off. It's way easier to build adrenaline that way. You can do this with the melee weapons as well. There's just a slightly bigger risk of running into the fire, which is unnecessary. Otherwise, there's not much going on. When he's jumped 5 times, you can start doing a natural instinct if you want to. Same old story. Stay out of the smoke. Kill dragon. That's that. It's not so bad.